Damon Turner coming to you once again with Turner's Tuesday Tips. So today we're going to talk about the 5 things you should consider before purchasing a horse. I know there's a lot of things you consider before purchasing a horse, but here are 5 things that I feel are most important. And the reason I feel these are most important, mainly because I know from experience, personal experience, because I don't consider myself a professional with horses. I don't consider myself an expert on horses, but a lot of these things that I want to teach you and educate you on are things that I know from experience. And so take it what it may be. Like I said, I don't call myself a horse expert, horse professional, but all these things are really personal experience and personal knowledge that I've gained over the years of having horses and owning horses and training horses and being around horses that you should consider before purchasing a horse. Number 1 is discipline. When I say discipline, I mean, what is the horse going to be used for? Is it going to be an event horse, like a speed, roping, barrel racing, anything like that? Is it going to be a trail horse? Is it going to be just a pleasure horse? It's going to be a horse that's going to be used for ranch work. These are all things you need to consider before you purchase a horse. Why? Because you want to make sure that horse is equipped and a horse is able to do the job that you are requiring of that horse. So when you look for different, event horses, they're usually well trained. When you get a team roping horse, you get a barrel horse or speed event horse, those horses are trained particularly for that. And so you want to consider that as well. And also when you have a pleasure horse, it doesn't have to be considered, really well trained, but it has to have a good handle on him, if you know what I mean. So, number 1, make sure you know what you want to do with the horse before you go and buy a horse. So do your research, go to a rodeo, go to play days, even talk to a trainer, talk to somebody that's been there and done that and give you a good insight on, the different discipline events. And so you know what you're looking for when you go purchase that horse. So you don't, make a big mistake when you spend that money on this pony. Make sure you know what you're looking for. Make sure you do your research and know exactly what you're looking for before you go and purchase that animal. Number 2, rider's level of experience. So this is very important, okay? So when I say that, I mean that wholeheartedly. This is one of the most important things because I personally have been in situations where I've seen people purchase horses from me and people purchase horses from other people that are too much for them. When I say too much, they don't have enough experience to ride this horse or enough experience to be able to utilize this horse the correct way. So if you're a young rider, inexperienced rider, I would maybe start with something that is an older horse, something that's well trained, something they call it seasoned, pretty much been there and done that. And if you do that, the horse is a lot more forgiving. And sometimes when you're a younger rider and you're a novice rider, you tend to be a little heavy-handed. And so horses that are a little bit older and seasoned, as I keep saying, are more equipped and adequate to be able to handle that riding style, that riding experience, whether in a young horse that is, in the process of learning or in the process of really just learning their trade or just learning their skill. A younger horse tends to be less forgiving. You can't be as heavy-handed with a younger horse and you can't be with an older horse, which I don't recommend being heavy-handed anyway. But a younger horse is less forgiving than an older horse, just because of the years, like it's seasoned. It's not seasoned like the older horse is. And so if you get a younger horse, make sure your level of riding is adequate for that horse. So if you get up into an advanced rider, you can get a younger horse and you can be a little lighter handed. Usually you have more experience with being able to handle any type of crisis, any type of situation, any type of random event that occurs as an older seasoned rider. So make sure you take into account that the level of the rider experience is very important before purchasing a horse. Number 3, horse's age. Why is this important? Well, mainly because with anything that's athletic, anything that's being utilized, anything that moves, muscles and bones deteriorate. And you have to take consideration what a horse has been used for, how long it's been used, what has it done in its time frame of being utilized. And so when you take in consideration the age of a horse, you have to make sure that you understand that, like I said, with any athlete, with anything that has bones, muscle, it gets old. And so problems can occur, things can occur. Whether in a younger horse, younger body, younger muscles, younger bones can withstand certain pressures, certain things, certain events than other horses can. But not saying that an older horse isn't good, because I personally prefer older horses when it comes to certain things like, events like team roping, rodeo, and things like that, where they're utilized for quick spurts and quick bursts. not as long as far as endurance and things like that. So if it's something like quick like that, that season is ready to go, you're going to run 2 or 3 steers on them and be done. Hey, more power to you. But I'm talking about the ones that just want to purchase a horse for the first time. Make sure the horse will be adequate for you, and make sure the horse will be a good investment for you. Don't go buy a horse that's older just because somebody says something or says this is what you need to do. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you do the things you need to do. But like I said, when it comes to the age of a horse, take consideration that, like anything with muscle and bone, like I said before, could deteriorate and could have injuries and could have problems. So take that into consideration before you buy a horse. Number 4, big deal. Medical history. Make sure you get a vet check for the horse before you purchase it. Why? Because this will give you an idea of any ailments, any previous issues, or any future issues that can come out of the horse. You can come out of pocket a lot of money if you get a horse with a type of ailment that you didn't know of, and come to find out you purchased this horse and he has to be tox injected or has to be taken to the vet because of arthritis or something like that. So when I say make sure you know the medical history of the horse, what I'm saying is get a vet check. Get a thorough vet check of the horse so you can see from top to bottom, front to back, if there's any issues with that horse, potential issues or any present issues with that horse before you purchase that horse. Okay. And finally is price. This determines your price range. You determine that. What I'm saying is make sure you do your research. Make sure you try multiple horses before you just spring and go buy one. If you have the money to do that, hey, more power to you. But my advice to you is, try multiple horses. Go out and maybe rope on them, ride on them, whatever discipline you do. Most people that own horses or selling horses will give you the opportunity to try that horse and to ride that horse. And make sure you do that before you purchase that animal, okay? So like I said, price is your own preference. To me, price is a big deal. But to you and anybody else, price could be a totally irrelevant thing. You can throw the money out there, this, and this. But I do recommend riding that horse and taking that horse somewhere before you purchase that animal. And don't be afraid to try multiple horses. Don't just get stuck on this horse because it's a blue roan or this, and this. Try multiple horses. It might take a month, it might take 2 months, it might take 3 months to find the perfect fit for you, but be willing to be patient and take that time to find the horse that fits for you, okay? So, also, when it comes to price, be willing to negotiate. I know horse trainers and horse sellers probably knock me for saying that, but, if somebody's willing to sell a horse, they might be willing to negotiate. Some people won't, but it depends. Be willing to negotiate, Don't come in there and jump on the first price you see. Don't do that. So once you get the horse and once you find the horse that fit, everything works out from all these 5 steps, be willing to negotiate that price. Be willing to take that chance on taking a cheaper price than what somebody's offering, because who don't want a chance, they might take that. Okay. So like I said before, these are just 5 tips. There are a million different things to factor, think about, and consider before purchasing a horse, owning a horse, and having a horse and maintaining a horse. All I'm saying is that these 5 are what I feel are most important, that I feel are relevant to me and what I think about before I buy a horse or purchase a horse. So I wanted to reach out and kind of educate you a little bit on this. So this is a quick video. If you have any more questions, feel free to text me, call me, email me, whatever. But once again, thank you for joining Turner's Tuesday Tips. Y'all take it easy.